Hello everyone, Chicken here. I just ended my stream first day playing the new patch, and normally I do a sort of patch review video as soon as it comes out. It's like the night of, but today I'm doing a little something different. I play with it for a little bit, so I'll be able to give you guys much more firm thoughts on what I think of the current patch. Of course, with the things that I did try. I didn't get to try everything, but I did try and see a bunch of different things. I was like, oh wow, that's pretty big change, pretty meta defining, all that kind of stuff. So first you go into events here, and with their new way of how to see the patch and whatnot. Like no, it's the battlefield and hero adjustments. So battlefield adjustments, they had some like optimization of attack speed to where I don't really know exact math. You could probably watch like a Hero-chan or Elgin video doing direct comparisons of like old and new, because I have no idea. I'm not going to bother even trying to explain it. But from what Zia told me, at least, it's really not that much difference. It's kind of just like some calculation difference. But they did reduce a bunch of Marksman's HPs, you'll see in the hero adjustments, and because of that, they made it where you have better, you have more damage reduction under towers when they have the energy shield up. The energy shield meaning like that early game damage reduction that wears off like some point in the game. They changed concentrated, so it's finally actually a usable item now, to where it's spell vamp to hybrid, so this works for both autos and spells. So a pretty good change for like a hero like Harith and Natan, just auto-based mages. Oracle, very interesting change. They made it where it's not primarily a magic defense item, and it has both magic defense and physical, and they reduced the price by 200. So this change, I'm not really sure about. Not as in like if it changes anything at all, because Oracle is just not a good item to build before, and even with this change I don't think it'll be a good item still, just because like specialist items are so much better. Why would you build Oracle or Athena Shield when you can build a Radiant Armor, or I'm sorry, why would you build an Oracle if you need magic resist when you can build like a Radiant or Athena Shield, which does twice the job, or an Antique for armor? It's just not really worth it, especially with like how anti-heal is in the game. Radiant Armor, it says change the build path, but the build path is now the 2 HP and cooldown rings, and then an HP crystal. Corrosion Scythe, so they nerfed, because of the, I think attack speed calculation, they nerfed a bunch of the attack speed items, so you think this is like nerfing everything, but I don't think it's actually that much difference when according to like how they changed the math. So like, it seems like they nerfed everything, but I don't think much actually changed. Now, I'm not going to look at Chip because he's not out yet. Masha change, I'm not even going to try to understand. They have reworked Masha like every other patch. It really does not seem like, I don't want to go over it. Who really cares, am I right? Like, who's actually playing Masha here? So, Sylvana, I played this. It actually feels very nice. What they did to her first skill is now, before you would have that little poke, and then that was stun, and then you dash. They entirely removed that first phase part, and now you just have a straight up dash that stuns when you connect, and it's a little bit of a shorter distance. You can also flicker combo with that dash, so if you dash and flicker into an enemy team, it will AoE stun everyone in it, so it can make some nice combos or engages. And then the skill 2 got a shield buff and a bit of a cooldown buff as well. So Paquito increases early game damage. So I've tried full damage pack, and this is a big difference, dude. This does not look, this is like 100 in champ stance and only 50 in skill 2 base, but like once you build those fizz damage items, bro, you will hurt. It hurts. I have like 2-shot marksmans with just 2-second skills, the champ stance. Because you think about it, it's only a 150 damage nerf here, or buff here, but you have 2 of those. You cast these back to back, so technically you're getting 150 bonus damage, base damage, if you connect both of these. So like, think about it that way, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. So passive. Due to passive, you can do a lot of damage at mission distance, or lack of mobility to quickly get away from enemies, below damage motion to increase attack instead. So yeah, I haven't seen any Layla's yet. It seems like they buffed her base stats. Okay, this just seems like they made it where Layla does more damage in the closer range and does less a bit farther away, but it's more to take the balance. Mia is too weak for the early game in 1v1 fights. When increase her skill 2 rate and balance her early and late game damage. So her base stats, so her physical attack growth got heavy nerfed. Interesting. So did her HP. Her HP growth is buffed a lot, and her base attack is buffed a lot. Oh, okay. So I'm pretty sure this is what I was told about. So they changed a lot of the marksmans to where, before going into these changes, they changed a lot of the marksmans where they nerfed the attack speed and HP. And they buffed the base attack for like a lot of the marksmans. So skill 2 here, you can see right there, that massive damage buff for the skill 2. And then the base attack buff for the Mia's just base damage. Albeit, you know, the other stuff was nerfed. So the talent is too powerful, the new radiant armor, so we lowered his late game capabilities while shortening his ultimate force swing to make him easier and more flexible to use. So they nerfed his HP by a little bit in the early game. Like I said, the HP nerf changes in the early game. Passive got nerfed a lot. Big nerf to the passive. About half the attack speed you get. But the base damage also got lowered. Never mind. But skill got lower, but the ultimate force swing got reduced by 50%. Now you think this looks bad, but just because they buffed the ultimate force swing, it is almost near instant, and that alone makes us a buff. You guys think like these triple nerfs on his stats makes him bad? Natan is probably one of the top meta marksmen now, because this ult is literally twice the range of a flicker, and it casts slightly delayed, only a very, very teensy bit delay. On land ping, that delay won't even be noticeable. It is an insane change. It's not by 50%, it feels like so much more than that. Haya got another buff, so now you don't have to worry about, if you don't have the buff, it won't be as tedious to play the game. Interesting. Vexana got a nerf, good. She needed one. She's still a bitch to go verse. Still very strong, one of the best mages still. I'm about to say marksman. I just something whenever skill 2. So skill 2 cast range got nerfed by 1 unit. That's a very good change. It was way too broken. She's still gonna be meta for sure. But she didn't need a nerf. Diggy bombs got nerfed. Wow. That's interesting. It's only the early game though. Okay, this is more for like Diggy cheesing, camping level 1 gold lane, trying to bully. I think this is a fine nerf. I think that makes sense. That's always a very cancer playstyle. And very annoying, especially for RG. I can see why. So good change. Bruno, like a base damage buff, you know, similar thing that happened to all marksmans. Base damage buff and HP nerf, base HP nerf, but HP growth is increased. Same thing with Clint's, base HP nerf, HP growth increased, and physical damage, base attack increased. Carry, just base HP nerf, the base HP change. Irithel, you know, base phys attack increase, base HP changed. Leslie, attack increase, base HP changed. Hanabi, attack increase, base HP changed. Claude, attack increase, base HP changed. Granger, attack increase, base HP changed. And just, yeah, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. I don't need to go over all this, I don't think. So instead of going through all these, I'll explain it to you right now. Let's look at this Argus change, actually. Argus got a physical attack growth buff. Huh. Okay, random. Okay, so to summarize what all this means, these marksman nerfs, for those of you who don't understand, is that attack speed marksmen are essentially nerfed overall, and physical damage marksmen that rely on pure stats are very strong, a lot stronger. That base increase in damage does so much for those attack marksmen compared to the attack speed marksmen. So example being Brody. Irithel's kind of a mix, actually. I'm not going to include her. Brody, Beatrix, Bruno. Those three. I'm trying to think of any others. I would say Irithel's like a midway point because she just has a lot of pure damage too, but she's also like crit. But since her damage numbers are very high and she's like usable, I'll maybe consider that. But basically, Brody, Bruno, Beatrix just got massive buffs because they rely on their base damage more than attack speed, and their damage is definitely very noticeable. The difference, it's very noticeable. Like I played with it earlier verse and like with and against, it's very noticeable. So I think those three marksmen are going to be a lot more prevalent in the meta. I think that's going to be a lot harder for Claude players to be not get snowballed, because not only are you squishier early game, but you have these fizz damage marksmen that can now oppress even more and snowball harder with their better damage. So this patch really just changed a lot of the gold lane meta. I think those fizz damage marksmen can snowball really hard again. we kind of just reverted back to a few patches ago where Brody Bruno were king. I think it's gonna be a similar situation, except that Natan is up there on that throne as well, competing for it. And yeah, overall a very interesting patch. I was not really expecting this. It came out of nowhere, but I'm excited to see what happens. So anywho, hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all for watching. Please like the video, subscribe as well if you want to see me, you know, learn more about the patch and play and all that whatnot. You can check out my streams. And yeah, have a nice day. Bye.